Hello, everybody. How is everybody doing on this beautiful Tuesday? Welcome to the Off the Dock podcast. My name is Brett Cypress with Anvil Music and Media, where we're giving you the latest in computer news and tech, turning research into results that matter. I'm here every Tuesday and Friday, and I appreciate all the listeners, everybody who's decided to join. If you are joining for the first time, please feel free to subscribe to the channel. Please feel free to like, comment, and share. Yeah, give me your comments. We've had a great week last week, coming out of last week into this week. Of course, Tuesday being technically the third day of the week, second work day. But we're just excited to be here. As you're coming in, please let me know where you're watching from. You're watching this on the replay, or if you're listening to this on the replay. Again, welcome. Thank you so much for joining. And these past few weeks, I've sort of upped my reps. I've upped my game and releasing videos. Just returning back to lives and getting accustomed to that. And so we've got our first comment here. Let's see. Arbaz says hi. Hey Arbaz, how's it going? Looks like your first time or your second time. DBGO4T. Hello. Hey, how's it going? Thanks for joining the chat. Where are you watching from? Arbaz has asked me if I tried Italian food. Yes, I mean, not Italian, Indian food. Yes, I have. Oh, DB Goat, got you. Yes, I did. I did try some Indian food. I mean, I've had Indian food before, but thank you guys. You guys are coming right on in. Riley, hello, Riley. How's it going? Arbaz, first time. Okay. Well, how did you know about the Indian food? I'm curious about that. But yes, I have. Riley Smith giving you a shout out. Yes, in the chat. You guys, let me know where you're watching from. Like the video and subscribe to the channel when you get a chance. So yeah, we're excited. Definitely excited. Definitely excited about today's live, and I appreciate you guys. Of course, you guys are joining me here in my studio. For those of you, or are you all first time? Let me know where you're watching in the chat. Let me know where you're watching from, and we're excited. If you are watching for the first time, I would like to welcome you. I would like to say, please go and check out my channel. Check out the videos that I have. I have so many different categories of videos, from tech to reviews. I've done brand deals with companies. I've reviewed microphones. Of course, Apple products are up there. Some Windows stuff. Riley says you're subscribed. Awesome, sweet. Buckhead Ridge in Florida. Nice, Florida. Welcome, Florida. Welcome you. Sharam, how's it going? Yeah, Florida. You're East Coast early. That's what I call it, East Coast early this morning. So we're glad that you guys have decided to join today, and we're just going to talk a little bit. I'm going to get into some news. There's a little bit of news. We're getting closer and closer to the Apple event, which I'm excited about, and so I appreciate you guys again for joining. Abbas says which Indian food? I don't know. It was a vegetable and rice. I'm not sure. It was like with curry. So, but yeah, appreciate the comments. If anybody has any other questions, any comments, please leave them in the chat. Let me know where you're watching from. So we're gonna sort of get right into the news, and I've been releasing videos, and I want you guys to go check it out. I did a recent video where I talked about Windows computers versus Apple computers, and I got into the mud a little bit, stirred some controversy, I think, for a lot of the people who don't necessarily tune into this channel, and So we're just maybe kind of keep that discussion going. I want to talk about, in you guys' opinion, I don't know what you guys use for your computer, if you're into using Macs versus Windows, if you're sort of you use both like I do. I use Windows computers for my work and my job, and I use Mac computers for my other work, my other job. So, but first, even before we do that, we're going to. Riley says, "Hey, I'm gonna have to leave the chat. I'm gonna have to leave." Oh, okay, all right. Well, good luck in your class, man. Thanks for joining. Don't forget to stop back by. We're here Tuesdays and Fridays. I may have said that wrong earlier, but so, but yeah, getting back to the whole Mac versus Windows fiasco, and I released a video about a week ago, just talking about this and how with Mac computers, there's a certain longevity to Mac computers. But anyway, even before we get into that, I'm gonna get into some new some news, I guess. And the first being, Apple is facing a class action lawsuit for violating the App Store injunction. And I'm like, whoa, you just violated. I don't. So this basically hasn't been a great year for Apple, and its products, and not only just its products but its policies. So the hits keep coming for Apple in the App Store. There's a new class action lawsuit filed today that alleges Apple penalized developers who sought to link payments with fees that rendered it economically non-viable. So it's basically saying that there are small developers. Um, let's see, the lawsuit was brought against Apple by small developers and led Apple to making several app changes, establishing the small developer assistance fund. So it looks like to me there are a bunch of different developers that are trying to get their apps onto the App Store, and they're having quite a time with managing how they put them up there, as well as the revenue that they're receiving. So any iOS developers who sold an in-app digital product through January 2024 may have rights to reimbursement for Apple's alleged failure to abide by the injunction. So um, there's a bit of news there. So there's also iOS 19. Let's see, iOS 19. Apple is unveiling iOS 19. So next month, the company will introduce major new iPhone packed with a variety of updates. I'm ready to see what these updates are. And so here are maybe the three features rumored to be announced. So there's a major design overhaul with how your screen, how the apps are placed on your screen. The new design is expected to have three main goals. So simpler use, faster to navigate, and easier to learn. So let's see, we got more comments. Aaron, let's see, let's pause for some comments. Aaron said hi. Hey Aaron, how's it going? Let me know where you're watching from. And to any of you guys in the chat, let me know. Leave a comment of where you are watching from. Here's some other things going on with iOS 19. So there are third-party AI integrations that are coming. Most of the AI features are built and powered by Apple's their own software. The company also integrated the intelligence of ChatGPT into Siri and its writing tools. So slow movement there, slow movement with Siri. We've talked about Siri so many times and how it is behind the race. And Siri's they're slowly coming forward with technologies to integrate OpenAI with Siri. So the reporting indicates that the same approach will continue in iOS 19. Apple's potentially offering a third-party AI models to choose from. So they're expanding their reach there with the third-party apps. So AI is of course going to be here forever and forever to stay. We all use it. I use AI daily. Like that's what I use to for assistance. So today let's get right into the subjects. My subject that I want to talk to you today is the simple subjects of Macs. Do Macs outlast PCs? Um, and I would say yes. Macs do, in the terms of an Apple computer versus a Windows computer. Macs do absolutely outlast PC, right? And I have plenty of Macs here in the studio to sort of plead my case. And most of these Macs I have are they're used Macs. I purchased these Macs from eBay, and I purchased them used. You got to be really careful. I was talking to one of my friends the other day, and yeah, thanks for all the chats. Yeah, keep the chats coming. My friend, we were talking about the resale value of Apple computers versus Windows. There's no comparison. The resale value for a Mac computer now, as of recent, it's kind of dropped a little bit. It's a little bit lower than it has been typically you can go to in the past you would have had to wait until special releases of computers, like for example if it was around a Christmas time and people are they're wanting to sell their old MacBooks or iPads or iMacs. They wanted to sell their old iMacs. What they would do is they would, of course, they would put them on these sites to get them sold because they're going out to buy newer computers, and so therefore they're trying to get rid of them, of course. So in that, what happens is the price goes down a little bit, and you can kind of sort of you can buy a relatively new, I mean a used but probably lightly used MacBook computer for a decent price. Now, here's the thing with that, with the pricing of the Macs, with the used Macs, uh, you there's a lot of selection, especially nowadays. Like what I've noticed lately with the new brand of Apple computers, which are the silicone Apples. These are the Apple's computers with the M chips, their own, basically have their own chips in it. Uh, the resale value is actually not that good. It's not that great. Now I have Intel computers here that I still use. I've gotten caught. I've gotten flack for that, for using Intel, which I think the last Intel was computer was made probably in 2019. Man, over 5 years ago. Um, but what am I saying? Um, and I've noticed, not just saying, but I've noticed that people that are using like I feel like the years from 2012 to 2018, 19 were the best Mac years for Mac model computers ever. Like those computers are tanks. They really have sort of stood the test of time. So I would be interested to see your comments on that. If anybody has a Mac from that year, those years, 2012 to 2018, and because I do, I do, of course. Um, so Macs, on one hand, they Macs are able to run these intensive programs, these softwares, graphics, for example, because all of their what the Mac is made up, the software, the engines, the motherboard, everything is one system, right? It's one vendor, and it's either NVIDIA chips or NVIDIA chips, but it's mostly Apple. PCs, you get a PC, you're going to have so many different vendors that piece the PC together. So Macs are actually engineered in a closed ecosystem. Like it's just Apple. It's all made by Apple. and that's why you're not able to upgrade in with your Mac. I recorded a video, a portion of a video that I dropped on YouTube last week. I think it's been about a week ago, talking about the upgrades of Macs versus computers or versus PC, and how it's definitely a thing to where you can't upgrade Macs anymore, and that's a problem for me. I'm not necessarily excited about that because what you purchase is what you sort of have to deal with. So, every other day says greetings from Croatia. Hello, Croatia. I appreciate. I believe you are probably the first um, listener or watcher from Croatia. So, welcome. Thanks for watching the channel. If you don't know, my name is Brett with Anvil. Check me out on this channel. Please like and subscribe to the channel. When you get a chance, go check out my videos. So, thank you so much. Thanks for commenting and welcome, welcome, welcome. Today we're talking about PCs versus Mac. Um, I'm sort of giving my take on it. Let's see, any other comments we have? Yeah, let me know. Let me know what you guys got going on. Please leave in the comments where you are watching from. All right, so we talked about how Macs are engineered in a closed ecosystem, and I sort of like that because everything's going to be from Apple. The downside is you cannot upgrade yourself. You can't take your Mac apart. That's kind of I'm kind of I don't feel great about that. I wish because these Intel Macs I can actually go in and change the RAM, change the change the size of the storage, the internal hard drive. So what I've learned or what I've come to know that you can stretch out the life of a Mac probably 6 to 8 years, and I've done it. These Macs I have are probably over 7 to 8 years old, right? So the life of a Mac is much longer. And for those of you that are just watching, just joining, we're talking about um, MacBooks or Mac computers versus PC and Windows. Um, yeah, let me know in the chat what computers do you have? Do you guys own? Let me know in the chat. So Macs, you usually can stretch them from 6 to 8 years, whereas Windows, you're probably best to retire them after 4 years. No, why is this? And I know there are some outliers, there are some exceptions, and not the rule, right? There are exceptions and not the rule to this statement. But overall, I feel like Macs outlast the PC in terms of how long you can use it, how long you can have it, how long it's able to withstand your task that you use it for. Here's another big thing. So Macs for me, and this is an Apple channel, so I'm going to a little bit lean a little bit towards Apple. Macs generate fewer help desk support inquiries, so you don't have as many because there are not as many parts that are foreign. You're not going to have a lot of issues with getting help. Apple has a big support. They have a great, I mean, an awesome, like awesome support, Apple support online. All you do is just go and type. The most you're gonna probably have issues with is if your Mac doesn't turn on, which is probably a huge issue, right? That's that's a bad, that's a big issue. If your Mac doesn't turn on, if for some reason there are certain programs that don't work in it, of course you got to make sure that you are constantly keeping your Mac updated, not to a fault. You want to make sure that with the updates that Apple releases, you want to make sure that all of the software that you're using is actually updated to Mac's latest update. I've had issues to where software has not been updated, and then I go to update my operating system, and the software doesn't work because it hasn't had time. Mac updates probably 3 to 4 times a year. If it has to deal with like security updates or you know new features, they got a iOS 19 that's coming out. Of course, uh, that's what it is. So ecosystem longevity, Mac Mac plays well with its little brothers and sisters, the iPhone, the iPad. There is a system, an integrated system. It's like an entire ecosystem of feeding each product is feeding inside and outside of itself. So they do play well. That's Apple's probably strongest that's Apple's strongest case for purchasing a MacBook. I had a friend who was like, we were talking about Apple versus PC, and he sort of said to me, he was like, "Well, I have an iPhone, I have an iPad, I have an iWatch or Apple Watch, and I love." He was like, "I love these. I absolutely love uh, the um, the iPhone products, but I have a hard time switching over to Apple from PC with my computer. Like he's just couldn't quite grasp the combinations, and he just wasn't, and it which would make sense for him. Like whatever computer you're going to use, use the one that's going to make sense for you. But however, he's already using 3 or 4 of the machines or products that he owns. Like 3 of the 4 are Apple products. So you know he hasn't transitioned fully, but I feel like he will, right? So in terms of cost, let's talk about cost. So cost for Macs versus PC, you really get what you pay for, right? On both ends, you're going to get what you pay for on the PC side, on Windows side, and you're going to get what you pay for on the Mac side. The problem is a lot of people that use Windows, they like to pay. They don't they're not trying to pay. People call it the Apple tax. Well, it's no tax. Apple's not a government. I've heard people call it the Apple tax, but it's really not. That's not what it's called, right? Like it's not. It is expensive, right? But even in it being expensive, you do get what you pay for. Now there are products out there, like for example, the Mac Studio that I've been researching for probably 2 or 3 years. It's been out since 2020, 21. I want to say the Mac Studio. This is a Mac that I've been looking at. I've been wanting to purchase. The price is just too. It's just too big. It's way out of my league. And to my point of you get what you pay for, there are many reasons as to why I have not purchased this Mac Studio yet, because it's just out of this world. I mean, you're talking about by the time I get all of the specs that I need for what I need to run on my computer. I mean, you're talking anywhere between $2,500 to $3,000 for just the Mac Studio, which is just a tower. You don't even get the screen, you don't get a mouse, you don't get a keyboard, and it's just too much. Uh, what I use in my studio, I have to have the software that I use. I have to have a computer that can hold, that can handle the depth of the functionality of the software. So with that, what I'm saying is, you do get what you pay for. There are some outliers with that. So, yeah, the cost, it just depends. Like, so you have to really go shopping. There recently was the Mac Mini that I've really fallen in love with. I do not have. I have not purchased. I'm actually going to be looking on eBay. I'm going to be researching on eBay for someone who may be wanting to get rid of the Mac Mini, but the Mac Mini 4 is a much more inexpensive version of the Mac Studio. So I'd encourage you guys to check that out. Check that out. Let me know where you are watching from. If you are watching for the first time, you can put in the chat first time. My name is Brett with Anvil Music and Media. We're hanging out here in the studio. We're here. You see, I've got my screen. I didn't wake my computer up. It's gonna wake up here. All right, yeah. Got my screen. Got my keyboard, both keyboards, and I've got my gear here. So it's my Canon. This is the computer. This is the camera that I film my content off of. It's a little flip camera there. This is the Canon M5 EO5 or something. Yeah. So got that. Got my Hollyland Lark stuff. So yeah, I've just slowly built my studio up over the years. One of these days, I'm probably gonna maybe try to give you guys a tour of my studio. You see, I've got my old ugly foam up on the walls, which I'm gonna talk about that later. Like that foam is up there for just to be hanging. It's just it really does the phone really doesn't really do anything. I've got some bass traps in the back that actually help with my sound, my acoustic treatment. But needless to say, yeah, we're hanging out. We're just talking about Mac computers versus Windows. And so the history of what I've owned virtually all Macs. I've used all Macs in the time that I've been working with production, learning production, music production. I've switched over to video production and editing. It's been a fun time for me. So yeah, so this is where we are, and of course, I probably got maybe another good 6 to 7 months before I should start I'll start looking in the market for a new Mac computer. But right now, I'm chilling. I'm good where I am. So yeah. Let me know where you guys are watching from. Please let me know in the comments. Give me a shout out. If you have any questions, please leave that in the comments. Go check out, if you get a chance, to check out my videos that I have on my channel. Got over 500 of them. I'm sure there's one that you can watch and appreciate. And I want to say thank you again for those who sponsored this video. This video is sponsored by Anvil Music and Media. So it's paid for by Anvil. All the products that I use are sponsored by Anvil Music and Media. I've done some other brand deals in the past, so not this video, but this video is sponsored by Anvil and sponsored by me, yours truly. So, but yes, let me know where you're watching. I recently just started the Off the Dock podcast, so it's called the Off the Dock podcast. You're on it. You're listening to it. You're watching it. You're watching me on it. So this I'm not sure which episode this is, but we're going to be a little bit more consistent in giving you what episodes we're in today's the Tuesday episode of the Off the Dock podcast, the OTD podcast. Yes, live and in living color. So yeah, things are good. So how is life treating everyone out there? We're live. This is live. Like I said, if you watch the replay, I appreciate you for watching. Appreciate you for joining. All of the support, I appreciate so very greatly. I do want to say that I have an ebook that is out. Handerella says, howdy, how's it going? Where are you watching from? Let me know. I just shouted you out. I appreciate you leaving a comment. What am I doing? So we are just on the tail end. We've been talking about Macs and PCs, and we've been talking about my opinion. I feel like Macs outlast PCs generally, but if you get a chance to, like, when the video's off, you can watch it. Go back and watch it. But basically, this channel is a tech channel. Paul says hi. Hi, Paul. Thanks so much for joining, Paul. Thank you guys. But yeah, this is a tech channel. I deliver tech news for the most part. I've been talking a lot about AI and Apple Intelligence. I sort of It's sort of starting to bore me, right? Like I'm sort of not that I'm tired of talking about it because it's something we use every day, but like I think last time I talked about I did a deep dive on uh, the College of MIT. It has there are a lot of kids up there that are starting these AI companies, and they're startup companies, and they are like they're killing the game, like because they're able to instead of have 100 employees that work for them. You can imagine like a kid who's 22, like as a CEO and has a company of 100 people working for them. Like they're not ready for that sort of power, right? They're just too young. They're not even fully developed. Like you're 23. That's 10 twice, right? So, but what they are doing is they're replacing those who are employees for these AI models, and AI models are basically cutting their company's employment in half, so to about like 20 or 30 people. Um, there's a lot of venture capitalism going on out there. So, and I'm not necessarily, you have Apple, you have Google, Facebook, Meta, you have Gronk. Let's see, what are the other ones? Perplexity, Gemini. It's countless other AI models out there, Chat GPT, of course. But there could be another AI model, another AI company that comes out that surpasses all. In fact, I'm curious. I'm looking to see who's going to who's gonna come out on top with this. So uh, awesome, Paul. Thanks. Yeah, thanks. Um, don't forget to subscribe if you guys get a chance to the channel so you can get all the updates as I'm coming on. We like to talk. This is a community where I like to leave the conversation open. The reason why I come live is so you can hear me. You can, if I sneeze, cough, wipe my eyes. Like it's real. Like this is what we do. I think people are very much in search of more connection. Right. We do enough online. We do enough of posturing um, in the social economy. I call it social capitalism. We do a bunch of sharing. There are a bunch of files copying online. There's a whole this just mega this space of complete echo chambers. But like the reason why I've decided to come on is because like we're real people at the end of the day. Like I'm a real person. Like you can talk to me here now and get real live feedback. I can get real live feedback from you as well. We can build up a community, and that's really what I'm about. So if you're if you're if that's something that you are cool with, yeah, please subscribe to the channel, and we're gonna grow this thing all the way to the top. I'm here to converse, to talk. We're here as a channel, as a community. Uh, I didn't see any of my crew from India today. They might be taking off. I think you they're skipping class, or maybe they're in class. I don't know, but maybe I'll see them on Friday. But what I do is I'm here every Tuesday and every Friday of the week, so you can catch me here, catch me live. I'm actually here from maybe about 6:40, and for maybe upwards of 45 minutes to an hour. So please check me back here on Friday if you get a chance, if you are available to watch. So there are a lot of you that, or some of you, may be in the market for purchasing a Mac computer. And if you are looking for, and if you need some help with purchasing, maybe you are not totally sure what you want to purchase. Maybe you're looking for something mobile, a MacBook. Maybe you want something that's going to be used for your office. If you're just searching the internet, if you're looking for something for light use, if you're a gamer, right? Well, I've written an ebook that was released earlier this year. It's a MacBook guide, not just for MacBooks, for iMacs as well, and for Mac Minis. And this guide will help assist you with your purchasing of a Mac product. It's better to know exactly what you're purchasing before you do. I'd rather you spend the money on something that you want rather than to go uh, rather than to shop rather um, and not have the knowledge of what you need. So this ebook is for a very low price. You can get it today. It's actually in the description of the. It's going to be in the description of this video. It's going to be in the description of all of my videos. You can go click on the link and purchase today. Like I said, it's for a small price, but it's a small price to pay for what you'll be getting for returning, which is the knowledge of what you sort of need. So I break it down into like 3 or 4 basic categories. If you're like the everyday user, surf the internet, you want to even use, you know, an, different softwares that are not as intensive of programs. You're in a certain category. So I have options for you for that. What are the best mics? If you are like a graphics artist, the programs you're using are taking up a little bit more, using a little bit more RAM, probably a lot more RAM, a lot more storage. Your category, I have the the right choices and selections that you can use for to purchase. If you're like a software developer or do production like I do, which require the top of the line uh Macs that have the most RAM, have the most storage, then I have the sort of Macs you should be looking for you as well. So go check out that guide today. Uh, Devanshu says, "Can you send sneakers?" I'm not sure what you're referring to, but so, but once again, I appreciate you guys for joining the channel and catch me again on Tuesdays and Fridays, same time, same place, and yeah, we will see you guys soon. Y'all have a good one.